Our next story is about these climate targets the EU has been trying to figure out for months at this point. They were supposed to figure it out, I think, around summer, and they did not. They did not agree on things. For the lowdown on that, we've got companies who don't want to give up on their profits. We don't want to put a plastic cap, right? I think that was one thing they're arguing. Like, if you put a cap on how many plastic things we can make, I'm going to lose money. So, lobbying very hard to not have to do that. And then, of course, we've got people green sides who are like, let's regulate everything. And how are we supposed to run a company if everything's regulated? So they're arguing over and over, and they just can't agree. This is coming out of Brussels from Sagan McNeil on AP News. The European Union is attempting again to forge a new climate goal today on the 4th of November before the UN climate talks in Brazil. Ministers across the 27-nation bloc met in Brussels to try to get a list of 15, only 15, to align their nationally determined emission targets to have a stronger negotiating position with parties, known less formally as COP30 in Belém. We need to show to the world that we are leaders in climate change. We need to deliver adequate signals for investors. Today is the day. Spanish Climate Minister Sara Aguirre said before the meeting. A draft proposal for an agreement on climate commitments seen by the Associated Press calls for loosening core climate regulations by giving priority to economic and energy security. Climate ministers will discuss the proposal, which allow nations to swap emissions between domestic economic sectors like manufacturing and agriculture. It also calls for larger allowances for buy carbon credits outside the bloc. So if you want to buy carbon credits, buy them from Africa, buy them from Asia, buy them from the United States, somebody else. The EU's long-held leadership of action on climate is under threat by domestic and national pressure. Wildfires, heat waves, and floods have disrupted life across Europe. Burn calls for action. Crises like Russian Ukraine and a newly volatile relationship with the U.S. have increased political and economic pressure to curtail flagship policies. A recent weakening of deforestation law by the European Commission, the EU's executive arm, upsets environmentalists. They worry that it signaled a deeper disenchantment with priorities by the European Commission. President Ursula von der Leyen, in February, she had announced an economic policy that some said eroded her Green Deal plan aimed at making Europe the world's first carbon continent. But von der Leyen said in September that the world can count on Europe's climate leadership and pledged that the EU is on its way to climate neutrality and would slash carbon emissions by 90% in 2040. She has linked climate investment to sovereignty and defense, arguing that a self-reliant Europe can better face threats like disruptive tariffs or export controls, armed conflict, and environmental disasters. Many EU governments have shifted to the right since the Paris Agreement in 2015. Some see climate regulations as shackling the economy. Oh no! I'm not making enough money! Burn the
shackling
earth, burn
the economy.
Ashes. While others say Europe will either make...
Paying people less money is what's shackling the economy.
Yeah.
Rich people have plenty of damn money. They want to spend it on salaries. They're welcome to start. They really
Yeah, go ahead. I would love some money.
Yeah. They really cared about the economy. They would be sending money down to the poor people. They don't care about the economy. They want to keep us poor. They want to stay rich. They want to stay in control. Sorry.
Exactly. Many EU governments shifted to the right, while others say Europe will either make or sell renewables or be forced to buy energy or green products from countries like China. Not China! Wopke Hoekstra, the EU's climate commissioner, said the bloc needed to bridge climate action, competitiveness, and industrial savviness, if you will. The independence that is going to name the game players that we have ahead of us. We'll do our utmost to be successful, but it takes 27 to tango, he said of his negotiations today on the 4th. The U.S. decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement, set back his climate goals, had rattled Europe. Climate vision was in part forged in partnership with the Democratic administrations of Barack Obama and Joe Biden. The Paris Agreement aims to keep average global temperatures from rising beyond 2, which is 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and ideally limit to 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 compared to the 1850s. To do that, the agreement says nations must slash planet-warming pollution that results in coal, oil, and gas getting burned. The EU's commitments to Paris have been driven in investments to renewable energies and electric vehicles, often cooperations and at odds with China. Heat trapping carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere jumped by the highest amount on record last year, soaring to the height no one has seen in human civilization and turbocharging Earth's climate, causing more extreme weather according to the UN Weather Agency. Europe is the world's fastest warming continent and has been heating up twice as fast as other regions since 1980.
Wow.
Get your shit together, Europe! It has been linked to more intense rains and floods, and the reports predict rainfall decline or severe droughts in some. Today is about a level of ambition, and it's about standing ground and not only talk when it's easy, but walking the walk when it becomes difficult. Swedish Climate Minister Lina Pourmokhtari said in Brussels.
Right on. Okay, was that it?
That's my story.
All right, so I got a haiku. Let me go read it. I already forgot what it was. Oligarchs lament. Can't you be happy for me? My logo is cool.
Poor billionaires.
I know.
Nobody
They're just
likes
trying to make
them.
an extra dollar.
Maybe they should give their money away and people will like them again.
They're just trying to create a monopoly, right? Of, hey, everybody's going to come to me for everything. Yeah. I'm so special.
I'm so special.